Little recap then. The four of you are Weyland-Yutani, of course, employees who were dispatched to a planet called Hades 4, which is being terraformed because of the fact that it supposedly is a huge rhodium concentration. The terraforming units ceased to work sometimes back, and the androids who were taking care of the terraforming units have disappeared. So the four of you were sent kind of an emergency crew to go in, primarily to restart the terraforming units, second to find out what the hell happened. You showed up, your ship was damaged on the way in, you managed to land, and that's when the weird stuff started to happen. You found in the tunnel leading into the caldera where the terraforming units are, you found a vehicle that was blocking the way that had been damaged. You moved it out of the way, you got in there, you arrived. This planet is super uninhabitable. It's got temperatures of minus 100 Celsius. But when you arrived in the area where the terraforming units are, it was a beautiful tropical little kind of area. Soon your roughneck, Wrench, made the discovery that the terraforming units are in fact not trying to fix the planet, but are in fact making it worse. They are turning what is a good planet into an uninhabitable planet. We don't know why yet. You also discovered, Dr. Ramos discovered signs of some sort of fight, some blood, perhaps the signs of a body being dragged away in one of the warehouses. Cliff discovered some black goo in one of the laboratories, which they quickly picked up and put in a little vial to carry with them back home, perhaps thinking it's some sort of cologne. More importantly, when you got into the comms shack, Phoenix Alvarez, your pilot, found a video that showed the two androids who worked here, Prima and Calvert, being attacked by none other than Mr. Wrench, your roughneck. He was shot in the stomach subsequently and ran off. The video then shows one of the androids, Prima, covered in blood, attempting to set off the auto-destruct or self-destruct mechanism of the base, which apparently didn't work. You're not sure why. You also discovered a message that was not sent, but it was part of a message, and Cliff had another part of the message that, when they put them together, showed them there's a part missing still. At that moment, the doctor, being under a lot of stress because of everything that was going on, shot your roughneck, Norris Wrench McMasters, and to your horror, you discovered that he was an android. He then left the room, trying to lock it behind him, to lock you in there. At that moment, Cliff saw little drops of black liquid coming from the ceiling, and when they looked up, it was just in time to see Dr. Ramos get attacked by some sort of long, 3-meter long, white, slimy snake kind of thing that opened up its head sort of like this before taking a lunge for the good doctor. While that was happening, the android Prima showed up naked, completely covered in blood, still blood that's old and dried now, and told Wrench, I need to show you something. And the two of them took off together. So my friends, when we begin tonight, if you wish to take a look over at Albert Rodeo, you will see that we are in a bit of a pickle. Well, we're not, but certainly the good doctor is. The good doctor is up here on the second floor and is just being attacked by some sort of alien snake thing. Down here, we have Cliff and your android, Delphi. Phoenix Alvarez was down here. Through the doors, which are now closed. They're open here, but they are closed now. Wrench has just left with Prima. So we'll remove Wrench. Doctor, as you hear the scream from Cliff about something being on the ceiling, you turn around and you see hanging down from the ceiling this white, translucent skinned, slimy snake that rears up, and for a moment you get a flashback to that moment when you encountered something in another on another planet while on a job for Weyland-Yutani, and you saw a coworker of yours get hooked by some sort of appendage that came down from the ceiling and grabbed them and pulled them away, and that's the last memory you have of that. And you know that you were in trouble with the company afterwards for asking questions about this and wanting to know what's up, but you never really figured out what it was. But now, as you see this thing, although you're pretty sure it wasn't this exact same kind of snake thing that attacked your friend this time, it's looking at you. It opens up, it hisses, and it lunges for you. So let's start with the good stuff right off the bat.
Yay!
You know how it goes. All right.
I'm going to say off the rip that reaction is going to be one of him like jumping back. Not even necessarily thinking about it. It's just a reaction. So probably going to hit that rail. Not sure if I'm going to fall over or not, but that is a distinct possibility. Because I'm scared and I am traumatized.
Well, that I think makes total sense. Within just a second, I'm just trying to find my... Okay. I am drawing a total blank. All of a sudden, I don't remember how to do initiative.
It's all right. It happens.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. It's through cards. Initiatives is done through cards. I remember now. Okay, I'm gonna draw cards for everyone involved. I do believe the alien will get 2. All right. Cliff, 10. Ramos, 3. Hector, 4. Oh, and the alien. All right. So you see this the snaky thing come down, open its little wing things, hiss at you, and then lunge forward. You get to go first, Dr. Ramos. What would you like to do?
Just as I said, I'm going to lunge backwards and let my momentum take me because I'm scared, and this does not look like fun.
All right, you want to try to just sort of vault that railing and throw yourself off of it? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, we'll go with that one. That's gonna be the thing. We'll do
all right,
that.
So give me a mobility roll. So it's gonna be your agility plus mobility plus your stress dice. Remember to roll your stress dice separately so that if you know if they roll 1s.
Alrighty. I have 1 success out of that.
All right, so 1 success is good enough. So you back up, and without much grace at all, you kind of flip over the handrail and fall down. I will, however, say that you will take a little bit of damage falling from the 2nd floor. So you can knock off 1 point of damage on your health as you roll over and kind of without much grace at all fall to the ground. Thump.
Okay. I will also say, so with my stress die, I did roll of 1.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. So what happens now is that you immediately will take a point of stress.
I will take that point of stress.
And you will now make a stress roll, rolling all your stress dice, including the one you just got.
So that's going to be 6. All right. That sounds good. Let's do this. All of my stress die. Hey. And you wanted that total or?
No, what I need to know from that is, sorry, you roll, I'm very sorry. You roll 1d6 plus your stress level and add your stress level to it. Sorry.
You are Gucci. That's the thing with new systems. You have to that's a 7.
All right. So with a 7, you are lucky in that you manage to resolve your action. So you roll over the side of the handrail, you fall to the ground, you take a point of damage, and then when you hit the ground, you start to panic. You are in the grips of panic. You are reacting completely without control. And unfortunately for everybody else, you now all get to make a panic roll because you're seeing Dr. Ramos panicking. So all of you get to roll a d6 and add your stress level to it.
It also probably is not helping that as like I come down, I'm just like taking pop shots at it. There's no like actual direction. It's just I'm just just pat 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 pat, just freaking out, man.
I got a 4 on my stress roll.
Okay, you're good.
I got a 3.
All right, so the two of you are good. You are panicking, shooting blindly at this thing. At 4, Alvarez.
He will look up at see the commotion. What is that? What is that? And he will just take his newly acquired gun and just try to get a shot. I know that there's been a lot of pop shots, so maybe the creature is not exactly in the same place that it was. But he's gonna try his darnest to try to pop at the snake.
All right, go ahead and roll your range combat. So your agility plus range combat plus your stress dice.
Okay. Stress dice. Okay, I rolled 2 successes, and on one of the stress dice, I rolled a 6. I don't know if that means anything.
So you're good with that. So
yeah.
You shoot the thing. You manage to actually hit it. The bullet seems to not do as much damage as it should. How much damage does your gun do?
2.
Okay. Where's my piece of it? There we go. So it hits it and goes, and you see like black goo and black blood sort of fly all around, and it kind of retracts a little bit and really quickly starts to retract towards the ceiling. You hit it.
Look at that.
It seems like its skin was very tough and took some of the damage of the bullet. Would you like to move?
Yes. Phoenix will move closer to Cliff and Delphi on his way to...
I didn't draw a card for Delphi. Okay. At 5, the snake completely retracts off back into the ceiling. It goes again at 6. You are all standing there. You hear movement in the rafters above you. It's not very clear exactly where it is. It's moving around really, really quickly. The doctor is panicking, shooting up at the sky, trying to light up the entire place. And he's not even shooting where this thing is. And you hear up on top of you, you hear movement, and you hear as it slithers around. And you see little droplets of black stuff drop all over.
Nope.
4, Cliff. Sorry. Oh, no, you go at 10. That's right.
I go at 10, yeah.
At 7, Delphi runs over to the doctor and is going to try to get the doctor to calm down a little bit by using manipulation. And does very terrible at it. So Delphi comes up to you and she grabs you and she's like, Doctor, you gotta get a hold of yourself, Doctor. Come on, you're not reacting logically here. And she's like kind of trying to grab you and is trying to get the gun out of your hand is what's trying to do. And it's just not working. Like she's just making matters worse. You're like, freaking out. This thing wants to take your gun away. I mean, maybe she's in league with Wrench, she's an android. Like,
I'm just going to grab on to Delphi and be like, we need to get the fuck out of here. We need it. And I'm still like, pop, 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 just like in close proximity.
We're all going to die, man.
Pop, pop, pop. Girl, I'm going to die.
At 10, Cliff.
Okay. I think Cliff is just like, no, stop, don't shoot at it, and pulls their PDA off of the table in front of them, immediately starts recording and attempts to get shots of this alien thing. Because
being the good corporate.
they're a scientist.
Um,
And I think I don't know if like attempt to speak to it, I guess, starts like saying something in any like alien type language they can think of.
oh, okay. Cliff starts to speak in some making weird
Yeah.
kind of noises, and it's really freaking you out, Alvarez.
What is that? The universal greeting? What is this?
We gotta try to communicate with it.
We need to get the fuck out of here.
But what if
Right. Like, come on, let's go.
what
Let's
is
go.
it? What?
At 3, Ramos. You are still panicking. You can attempt to get yourself under control.
Yeah, we're gonna try to. We're just gonna see where that goes right here. Roll the stress die, correct?
So tell me what you would like to do first of all.
I think right now that's not even at the forefront of my mind. I'm terrified at this current
So
moment.
something you could do. You have a signature item, right?
I do in fact have a signature
So
item.
you could take a slow action and reach for that and like try to find some comfort in it. And that might help you relieve stress if nothing else bad happens to you.
I think that's what I'll do. I think that's what I'll do. Like after just fully shaking Delphi, I'm just gonna like my hands are shaking, while backing, getting close, like also kind of like backing away from Delphi. Probably see me hit up against some of these things, and like some of the panels and everything as I'm just like looking up at the sky. And I'm just gonna like seeing if I can find it, but also like try and like reach to see if I can grab my signature.
And what is it that you pull out?
It will be my last psyche vow, the one that actually allowed me to come back into service. That tells me that the findings, the fact that out of the 3-person panel, 2 out of the 3 said that I was clear for duty.
All right, so you grab this. So the doctor is like hiding in the corner, opening this, looking at it, going, "I'm fit for duty. I'm fit for this. They said I was okay. They said I was all right. They said, and as you're kind of gripping this thing like for dear life. So we'll see in a moment at the end of the slow action, at the end of the turn, if it allows you to get your stress back. Thank you so much, your boy Big Ian, for the bits for the story points for our players. So 1 story point each. Kurt, you also got a hail from Raven Sarah, which gives you also another story point. Thank you so much. And Justin, you get an extra one from Ian. Yeah, I don't take them as GM in the game, but so Justin, you have an additional one. So you can spend one of these, Justin, at the end of the turn to get an automatic success and lower your stress.
Bad.
All right. At 4, Alvarez, this thing is still crawling in the roof over you somewhere. The doctor's off in the corner clutching some papers or something. It looks like he's, Delphi, I would say you probably dropped a gun when you were looking for your thing, so Delphi's got your gun. And Cliff is filming all of this. I'm going to put it on YouTube.
Phoenix will turn his head to Cliff, and with a very, very serious look, "Please get out now." And Phoenix will turn and will run towards the dock. And as he's approaching the panic doctor, he's gonna kind of sling the gun down and have both hands out, slowly coming up. Doc. Doc.
I'm clear for duty.
You are cleared for duty, Doc. We need your help, Doc. We have to help Norris. Norris is hurt. We need you. We need you in the operating room. We need help. We need a medic. Doc, you are fit for duty, but we need to help those who aren't. So please. And he will slowly just like get down on one knee, like, Doc, we have to go right now. Right now.
I need my anxiety meds. I need those right now.
Okay. We're excited. Delphi, help me find the meds. Nurse Delphi, help me with the meds. Let's go.
You could, if you wanted, to make a command roll to try and command him into getting a hold of himself.
Command's not my thing. I have medical aid. I could try to find these meds.
Sure. All right. So you can root through his bag. Go ahead and give me a medical aid.
Oh boy.
Knowing where exactly I generally keep that, I would probably give him that explanation. It's like top left, unzip, it's in this flap. While also going back, it's like, I'm okay. I'm fit for duty.
One success.
All right. What does he find, Justin?
With that one success, takes a little bit. It's mixed in because of the last time. Mixed in with some aspirin, but you do find one that says anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
All right. You bust that out, and you will attempt to give some to him. What I'll say is that getting the pills will give you. We'll see when you make your roll where we're at. At 5. Adrian, as you come in and hand the pills to the doctor and say, you're going to be fine, this thing comes out at you, and it's going to...
I'm gonna start taking them myself. Like, oh, fuck.
You see, doctor, as you're taking the pills from him, you see coming down behind him this long, wide tentacle kind of thing then that suddenly starts to wrap around Alvarez, and starts to like squeeze him down. It attempts to grasp you. It latches onto you with a vice-like grip, and it attempts to start pulling you up to it. I will make an attack against you.
Oh shit.
Could be.
You can attempt to block if you want.
Yes, I will attempt to fight for my dear life. Yes.
All right. So you can roll your hand to hand or whatever it's called in this.
Close combat?
Yeah. Remember to roll your stress dice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. 1 success. Now let's do stress. I rolled a 6 on stress. I guess that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
1 success.
1 success. All right. Do you wish to use any of your story points?
Yes, I would like to use a story point at this moment.
All right. So use one of the story points because it was about to grab you. So just as it starts to constrict and squeeze around you and it's trying to pull you up, you kind of tuck your arms in and you kind of slip just out of its grasp, and it's kind of just hanging there, but it's not happy about it. And since it goes at 6 again, it's going to right away, as soon as you slip out of its grasp, it is going to roll down upside down. It's going to open its hood right in your face and hiss at you. Sort of like that. Both Adrian and Justin take an extra point of stress as this thing is just dangling there with its flaps open and just...
I am stressed.
Yeah.
I'm very stressed.
That's ugly. Delphi will run over at 7 and attempt to grab the thing. It'll manage to. It'll grab onto it, and she'll wrap her hand around the head, and she'll start trying to pull it down from the roof where it's at. You notice something quickly, Adrian, as you're pulling away from it. Where you shot it, the wound has closed and has healed up.
Oh, hell no.
As Delphi's attempting to pull this thing out from, and she yells over her shoulder, "How do we kill it? How do we kill it?" She's yelling over her shoulder at you, Cliff, which is your turn, Cliff.
Oh my God. I think in this moment, Cliff had yelled like, "No," when it tried to grab Hector. And then now they're just frozen, kind of conflicted. They're, this is first contact. I need to like get as much information as possible. But wait, these are the people. I need these people to get off. And I think, I think we all have one of the service weapons from the comm room on us.
Mm-hmm.
I think in an instant, fight or flight pops in, and I think they're just gonna try to shoot the alien.
All right, so go ahead and make a ranged attack roll. Don't forget to add your stress dice.
Yeah. It's probably not gonna go well. I have 1 success.
Nice, and no ones on your stress dice?
And no ones on my stress die.
All right, so your bullet hits the thing just as Delphi's kind of holding it. The bullet hits the thing, and you can see it sort of go in. Black goo and blood sort of splashes all over. It splashes on Delphi. It splashes on Ramos and on Adrian. This black stuff that just sort of rolls on your skin like oil. As Delphi's holding it, this thing is hissing and trying to get out of it. And just as the bullet hits it, and Delphi's like screaming and holding us, and the blood splatters everywhere. Outside, Norris, you are walking with Prima, heading towards one of the sheds. As I said earlier, she's naked. The blood on her is completely dried and flaking off, and there's just kind of a little bit of it, like it's clear that it was, a little bang. She's wounded here and there. You can see damage on her, and she's just walking towards one of the sheds. Okay, no, I don't think you discovered that already. She's not saying anything. What do you do as you follow her?
So, I've got a couple of questions that I think you might be able to answer. If you don't mind, perhaps talking over your shoulder. Also, did you hear a weird noise coming from that building?
From the comms room?
Yeah.
It's possible, I think. Gunshots. Maybe they're killing each other.
Well, we can't have that. They can't kill each other.
Why not?
He starts to turn to walk back towards the comm center.
Hey, I want to show you something.
Okay. Well, okay, then answer me this. How did I not know that I am artificial?
I don't know.
Did you know that you were artificial?
Of course. They may just not have told you. Do you have memories?
Well, I mean, sure, sorta, yeah. Why? I mean, I remember the job. It's always the job, Enough time in hypersleep, years start blurring together and...
Well, come with me. I'll show you something and might help answer some of your questions.
And he kind of he follows her.
She'll take you into one of the sheds. When you walk in, just trying to find the correct map here. When you walk in, and you can check out on the owlbear.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into a storage shed that's attached to one of the main terraforming units. You walk in, and as soon as you walk in, she goes up the stairs here, and then gets upstairs and goes, "Come here." When you climb up, you see on the floor there, on the gantry, on the gantry up there, there's a dead body, rolled over, sort of curled up, blood everywhere.
What happened to him?
I had to kill her.
Why?
They were trying to prevent us from destroying this place.
Why?
She looks at you, goes over with her foot, rolls the body over. You recognize Cliff Reich.
Why was she trying to destroy this place?
She wasn't.
Who was?
Calvert and I were trying to destroy it.
But why would she want to stop it?
She'd been trying to get a message back to Weyland-Yutani about what was down here. We thought that it was probably not a good idea.
About that, about the what's down here, what's all that black goop stuff that's in the fans?
I don't know, but I think it's what's creating the monsters.
So we don't want to destroy this place that's creating literal
No, we
living
do
night-
want to destroy it.
We do.
She didn't, and neither did the others.
Right.
That's why
Right.
you attacked us.
Okay, it wasn't me. It may have been, and he looks at like his wound.
It wasn't you. I can show you your body if you want.
Another model, perhaps.
No, it was a human.
Come
Like
again?
she's human.
Wait, hold on. There was nothing in the waiver that said anything about replicating us. And if you're implying, I am obviously not human anymore.
Mhm.
And Cliff, they are not human if that's in fact their body. What about the rest of the crew?
One of them's dead in the laboratory. The other one, we don't know where he is.
Which one is dead in the laboratory?
I don't know.
Well, does he, and he gives a description of Benny, essentially. Does he look like Benny?
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So help me out here. Just a smidge, if you don't mind. Listen, I don't know what kind of positronics we got going on up in here, but they're obviously not firing and putting the pieces together. This morning when I woke up, I was human. And I'm pretty sure Cliff and Benny and... Well, I mean...
How do you know?
How do I know that I woke up and was human?
What were you doing before you got put in the hypersleep?
I was at Anchor Point Station.
Are you sure?
I mean, yeah. I mean...
As you start trying to remember, you realize really the earliest memory you have that's very solid in your mind is the dream that you had in hypersleep. And as you think back on it, you remember it being you running in a jungle type setting, someone coming after you, you being gunshot, falling down, something catching up to you, turning you over and crushing your head.
No. Nope. I'm not buying it. Nope. No. Wrench like starts slowly backing down the stairs away from Prima. Listen, there are laws against this. You can't do this, much less have a whole ship full of synthetics running around without human oversight. Like, no. Right? I'll buy that for whatever design there was that allowed me to not realize that I am what I am. I'll buy that. All right. Okay. I'll buy that one. But a whole team of us? No, there's no. That
Mister, there's only one law in the universe, and that's the Weyland-Yutani law.
that I have.
Meanwhile, back in the comm shack.
Blake, you can't do this to me. You can't Lord jump on me and then make me go back to what I'm not supposed to know. Okay.
Bring it in.
Ooh.
Everybody okay?
So good.
No,
So
no, none of us are okay. None of us are okay.
Technically, none of us are alive right now, but we don't actually know that yet.
We don't know. Okay.
We don't know that. Anyway, no.
Back to Dr. Ramos. You took your long action to work on your thing, holding your paper and survey. Are you willing to spend an automatic success?
100%.
All right, so you spend it and you get yourself under control. You saw the thing get shot. Delphi is still holding it. It's bleeding, kind of spraying blood all over, but she's still holding it. She's asking Cliff how to kill it. You kind of get control of your emotions and your panic. It's still there. It's still beating in your chest. It's still trying to get out, but you're like, okay, kind of calming down, hyperventilating a bit, but sort of calming yourself down. What would you like to do?
My pistol is not near me. Delphi had it, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah, Delphi had picked it up. Yeah. There is, Hector would be holding his rifle that he's got. I guess actually maybe the Hector's rifle being around because he was looking through your bag, looking for your medication, right? So his rifle is on the ground.
I'm going to grab it and walk up point blank and pop the alien right in its stupid face.
All right. I'm going to make you roll just to see if your stress gets the better of you. But I'm going to say it's an automatic kill unless you screw it up royally with your stress. So
I mean, you never
you're
know.
panicked. Who knows?
I am very stressed out right now. Okay, cool. So let me grab my things. All right, so I have 7 stress dice, and then I'm rolling.
7 stressed.
I'm very stressed out right now, man.
No, you're like a dynamo.
Which stats do you want me to roll right now?
So it's your ranged attack.
Okay.
Plus your agility, plus your stress dice.
All right, so I'm gonna do my agility dice right now. No successes, and then for my stress dice, that's a 1.
Would you like to spend another story point to eliminate that one?
I am. I'm just gonna go burn through them right now.
All right, you burn your other story point, and the gun, which you were about, just as you were about to pull the trigger, the snake had moved and Delphi moved with it, and for a second your gun, as you tracked it, your gun was right next to the head of Alvarez, and you pulled the trigger and it went click and misfired.
As soon as it misfires, I will perform sports, pop the thing, slap the magazine well, or slap the magazine, and next year we'll try and shoot.
Not a problem. At 4, Alvarez, you saw your life flash before your eyes.
Yeah, the dog's fucking nuts. So, I'm getting the fuck out. Fuck this place. So I am crawling backwards, and I'm going to, I think, out of kind of like a panic state, he's going to forget that the door has been kind of semi-welded shut and is going to run towards the door.
You run over, you get to the door, you start trying to open it. You can just see that he just had a moment to do like a tack on it, like It's really kind of resisting you. You figure there might be a way with a bunch of people to try and break it, but right now you're kind of just struggling against it. You're like, let me the fuck out of here. Let me the fuck out of here.
Just bangs
At
on
7, Delphi is going to pull the thing down off from the roof and just like put it on the ground and then stamp on its head, and it's gonna squish it, and the black goo is gonna sort of spread all over as she's just standing there on this thing holding it up with its foot crushed under its head, and goes, "Is it dead? Is it dead?"
I don't know. I don't know.
The tail sort of flops down, and she like drops it and backs off, and you can see that its head is all squished. And we're out of initiative.
Still backing away from this motherfucker. I don't trust it. Don't trust it.
Help me open this fucking door. Come on. I'm just trying to open it.
And then I will move over. I'm like, as I'm walking by, I'll be like, Cliff, hurry up and finish whatever it is you're doing. We need to get the fuck out of here.
As the doctor approaches and goes to help you, the two of you are like this, and Alvarez, you're like, all right, ready, we're going to push at the same time. You look down and you can see when he fell earlier, he hurt his leg. He fell down and his leg twisted. And you can see his boot is filled with what looks like milk. There's like white liquid that's just pooling in his boot right now and is starting to overflow.
Here, give me the rifle. I could use it. I could use that as leverage. Give it to me real quick. And
yeah, sure.
As he hands it to me, I'm going to take the rifle and put it on his neck against the wall. What the fuck? And I will just put the rifle like right up at his neck, trying to like just applying pressure.
Hector, what are you doing?
He's a fucking android. What the fuck? And he's just,
what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Look at your fucking leg. Look at your fucking leg.
When you look down, you can see that you have this huge chunk of flesh that's been ripped out of the side of your leg when you fell. And you can see all this white liquid just pooling out of it.
Care to explain that? And I'll let him go. Then I'll have the gun.
I'll let you think on it. Everyone takes 2 stress points from a revealed android.
Right.
Except you, Justin. Your stress all gone. Yeah, as an android, you don't take stress. Your stress is gone. You get to add 2 points to your physical stats, so either to strength or agility. So do that and think of your response as I cut back to the warehouse where Prima and Wrench are having a discussion over the dead body of Cliff.
So, I feel the urge and the need to get back to my crewmates. Crewmates. Yeah. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna kind of see myself out.
We need to blow this place up. We need to find Calvert's body. The other control key for the detonation sequence is on him.
Where was he last seen?
Running after you. But I know he came back. But I know he came back. He's somewhere in here.
In here, or in this area?
I think he may be in the labs downstairs, but we don't have access to those.
But I'll bet you my doctor buddy does. Even though he shot me, I might forgive him.
We need to blow this place up.
You right, you are. I don't disagree with you one bit. I think this rat maze fucking fire experiment, whatever the hell you want to call it, definitely needs to come to an end.
I'll wait here. She sits down in the steps next to Cliff's body. Oh. She reaches over, pulls a PDA from Cliff's body, throws it at you.
What's this?
That's her computer.
Oh? I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick little contact roll because I want to know what's on this sucker.
So the main thing that you find, the last thing that was on it, is there is a message from Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, Jacqueline, read us, please?
I get to read the secret message now?
You get to read the secret message
Ooh,
now.
I've had it open. Okay. All right. To Control, Weyland-Yutani HQ. This is Dr. Cliff Reich. I'm sending this message encoded in base Aleph 33X language. I will further break it down into 4 separate messages, which should be overlaid and given to another xenolinguistics expert. I recommend Dr. Shen. There is evidence of canisters similar to those found by the Prometheus project in Sector ICD 7, and they appear intact. I plan to open one to confirm the presence of Tachinidae tabularium. If I can confirm this, it would be the most sizable cache of this agent we have yet found. In fact, if my suspicions are correct, this is a fabrication plant for the agent. I request immediate backup, as the androids manning Archeron Station appear to be antagonistic to our discovery of the cache. They have already sabotaged one attempt at sending this message, which is why I am now encoding it. Dr. Ramos was unfortunately infected by spores from the neomorphic egg sacs we found in the temple, some of which are damaged during transport by the androids. Whether this was voluntary or not is not yet clear. I have ordered him quarantined, something which Pilot Alvarez took offense to. Alvarez has since disappeared. Ramos resisted infection once already on Calliope 7. As of this time, it's unclear whether Ramos would develop any further complications due to the infect. Message ends abruptly.
Right, so we gotta blow this place up. Got it. We're gonna need the help of my friends. Well, predominantly, we're gonna need Firebird to pull off a special, and we're gonna need Ben to hopefully make it to where we don't die. I wonder if he's as good as a mechanic as he is as a... Never mind. Anyway.
Are you sure you can trust them?
No, but at the same time, it seems as though the only person we have to worry about is Cliff, now isn't it?
Well, all 4 of you seemed, well, actually, 3 of you seemed pretty intent on fulfilling your duties to the company.
Well, I just thought it was another job.
I
You
mean,
can't hold that
originally,
against me if I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I'm just saying, if you are built on the people that came here originally, what makes you think that you'll behave any differently than they did?
Well, when I found out I was a synthetic, I didn't exactly act different.
We'll see.
Besides, any chance I get to fuck with Cliff, I'm good.
Good luck.
I've got their little computer, so I've got a golden ticket. It's great.
You head back to the comm shack?
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the comm shack,
Back at the ranch.
you are holding Ramos by the throat. Ramos, you've looked down, you realize you're an android. You don't know fucking how or why or what the deal is with that business, but it's, I mean, unless you somehow never knew in your entire life. Also, Justin.
Yes.
To the point of your medication and all that, you know, your addiction. You have not, since you woke up in the ship, had to use it. So what do? The lot of you.
I will be in shock right now and say, that's not possible. No, there's no fucking way. and I'm just gonna like reach down to try and like touch it. If I'm able to like get like a little bit, I'm just gonna be like, ow.
Hector will remove the gun from his neck and just kind of have it in a defensive position, like.
How? I have all my memories, but this
Okay, at the very least, you didn't turn on us the way Wrench did. So maybe I don't know. I don't know. Delphi. What are we missing? Why are half of us androids? What happened to the androids here? What do you know that they're not telling us?
I don't know anything. The only thing that I would consider strange was that all 4 of you were delivered to us on a ship already in hypersleep.
That's
we were
strange.
told that you had been intercepted from another flight where you had been placed in hypersleep, and that there was no point in waking you up just to put you under again to transfer you over to this flight.
And you don't know where we were coming from?
It wasn't mine to ask. I was just told to make sure that you were secured on board and to see the ship off.
Hector, do you still have comms with the ship?
Yes, I have the hookup right here. I can communicate with the ship. The panel.
I'm gonna steal your communication, and I'm gonna try to see if there's any encrypted files on the ship's softwares to see if there's anything about the flight that we were on, like where we possibly could have been coming from.
There's nothing. There's nothing on your ship before
Before us waking up.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, can we discuss it in a safer location? What if there are more of these black-blooded snake thingies?
Hold on. Cliff. What are the likelihood of there being two synths within a crew of 4?
We only ever need the one. That's what Delphi is for. That's why it doesn't make any sense.
What if there's more of us?
What do you mean? Like more on the ship? More here?
I'm just gonna like stare. I'm gonna like look at both of you and just kind of like.
Don't you fucking look at me like that. I am not a fucking synth.
And I thought the same thing a few minutes ago.
Yeah, well, you're kind of, you've never been kind of right. I don't know, maybe it was your programming or something, but,
and I right, because I'm the one that fucked up the ship and killed God knows how many people.
Hey, if I was a synth, I wouldn't have done that. I would have had, I wouldn't have felt bad about it. I wouldn't have had the guilt of all those people if I was a fucking synth, okay? It haunts me.
How do we know that you're not one right now? Huh?
You want to fucking prove it?
Fucking prove it. And I'm just gonna pull out a blade at this point and just like.
Wait, no. Listen. We don't. Let's relax. There are rules for transport. There are always humans. We have. And Cliff is just like mumbling things over, like trying to piece together what is happening.
As you're doing that, Kurt, you are approaching the door. You hear some shouting going on inside. You do see that you did put a tack. You had time to put a bit of a tack on the door, so it's kind of sealed.
just pull out my little hand cutter and just. So, like, I would assume in the middle of their argument, sparks just start flying into the fucking room as I'm cutting the lock off.
What is that? And like points at the door.
I'm not breaking contact from Hector at this point. Like, I'm
We're
just
like,
like, do it.
yeah,
I like-
it's we're about
do
to
it.
throw down.
I rip open the door and be like, we're all fucking robots. And I hold up Cliff's little PDA. This isn't the first time we've been here. Dr. Shen, ring a bell?
Does it?
Yeah, it's one of your colleagues, one of your
Okay.
colleagues at home in the Xeno language division of Weyland-Yutani.
You're not supposed to know about Dr. Shen.
And I'd sit there and just shake the PDA. I also found your body, your human body, over in the storage shed.
No, this is my body.
No.
You're the freak that flipped on us and tried to. You tried to knock us in here with that thing, and points at the dead alien on the floor.
I want
Doc-
to see the body. I want to see this body.
Doc shot me. I was running for my life, or what I thought was my life.
No, you turned.
No, I ran for my life. Doc going off the edge. He's not on his morphine drip. He'll in an armed gun. Yeah, no, that's shotguns are fatal to just about every species in the universe. You generally want to leave the room.
That's what I'm saying. If we really want to prove this, if we really want to show, if outside of looking at bodies, which we do now apparently have one.
If you want to go look at your body, Cliff, Prima's in there, and she's covered in head to toe blood. So, and she's not too keen on you. So, take that what you will.
Or you can go ahead and grab that knife from Hector, and prove it yourself.
Only one we're not sure about is Hector, but I'm pretty sure he's a robot too, because ain't nobody walk away from the crashes that he crashed. No offense. It's just. I mean, it would make sense that I'm a synth now because I didn't actually make it out of that crash. You didn't make it out of that crash, but we know about the crash. You know what I'm saying?
Hector is going to grab the knife and just like close his fist on it. Thinking back on that moment, just closing his fist as hard as he can. And then without making a very big motion, we'll just very slowly open it. See what he sees.
It's white.
Fucking knew it.
Cliff, you take 2 points of stress.
Am I about to have a panic attack?
Are you getting near your maximum?
I am at 6 right now.
Fuck.
You're like
Now,
on the verge. Anything at this point is going to set you off.
I am thin.
I would like to, because why not take advantage of the situation? He's just gonna pull a screwdriver from his belt and like gash at her arm real quick.
All right, make a close combat roll. Cliff, you can attempt to get out of the way by making your own close combat roll if you want.
Okay.
Or actually, you can try to dodge it by making a mobility roll if you prefer.
Okay, I'll try the mobility roll.
All right, so your agility plus your mobility plus your stress dice.
Yeah.
Adrian, your stress
those
drops,
dice.
and you can add 2 physical points to your stats, your physical stats.
I have 7 dice to roll for this, and I got 3 successes. I got 3 sixes. The devil's number.
Six.
Do the 6s on stress die help me or no? It's just the ones
They're
I'm
just
looking for.
they're a success.
Okay. There are 3 6s, but there is a 1 on a stress dice.
All right, so you automatically take 1 stress.
Okay.
1 more stress. And right now you need to make a stress roll. So you're going to roll a d6 and add your stress.
Okay. 11.
You attempt to dodge, but you can't. As you start to panic, the screwdriver jams into your arm, and you pull back from it, and you're like panicking. You flail at him the whole 9 yards, and you kind of stand back. As Cliff is like losing it, the three of you clearly see white liquid running down her arm.
Hey, Cliff, look at your arm.
No, get away from me. Get away. It just stabbed me.
Look at your fucking arm.
What is that?
2%.
You put that on me.
That is coming out of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're a synth just like the rest of us.
No.
None of us.
The realization
are
starts
real.
to sink in. Your panic starts to fade away. You realize you're making yourself panic. You don't actually feel it.
That's weird. Did that happen for you three also?
Yes.
It's kind of like a Zen
Yeah.
experience.
Can I see that PDA?
No.
I'll trade you mine.
He'll take her. He'll take Cliff's, and then he'll hand them the other one that he has.
And I immediately pull up. I'm assuming the message is sitting there.
Yeah, the message is sitting there. You realize that there's part of the key that's on here, and that with it you would basically be decoding this message. That's what you had, the sections that you had led to. You find all sorts of information on the PDA also. You realize there's a laboratory under here. There's also some sort of temple structure that they found what they think is a machine that makes and bottles this black goo. And that Ramos was, as I said, infected by one of these things, and you had him quarantined in the laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
Alvarez he was the only one in the group that was like, no, we can't. We can't bring this back. Ramos felt that by bringing this back, it would prove that he wasn't crazy and that he'd seen what he'd seen, and it would truly exonerate him from, that the panel that had given him the right, but there was still always that one voice against him kind of thing. And so he was okay with bringing this stuff back. And your notes are like, this is the greatest discovery ever, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's machinery from the engineers that can possibly be reversed engineer, how they created this stuff, all that. There's notes also on the fact that what this product does, the bacteria or whatever that you were talking about, once it gets into the atmosphere, it mixes with vegetation and animals, local vegetation and animals, and mutates and creates the stuff that actually, once it goes, it creates little eggs that once they blow into spores and are inhaled, create the creatures that like they're called blood. Give me a second, I'll tell you exactly what they are called. So this is the neomorphs that were discovered by the Prometheus crew, and as opposed to xenomorphs, and that once the spores are inhaled, which is what happened to Ramos, it creates, you go from the neomorphic egg sacs, which create neomorphic motes, which then, once they go into a host, very quickly become what are called neomorphic bloodbursters, which eventually explode out of the host, killing the host, and turn into neomorphs, which are these strange white skin, translucent alien forms who are genetically programmed to destroy all life.
Hmm.
Other things too, like fire is the way to get rid of them.
Right. I think I just bring everyone up to speed. As I'm like going through it, I'm kind of talking out loud.
So what do we do now?
So we need to finish the self-destruct and take this ship and get the hell out of here. I can get the ship ready.
Sorry, Captain, but I don't think the ship can breach atmosphere.
Well,
We'd have
why
to
not?
repair it, but to repair it, we'd have to be able to bring it here.
Is there another ship?
No, she goes to the computers, starts futzing around. There appears to be a shuttle hidden under the lake.
I'm sorry, you said hidden under a lake?
Yes, the lake just next to us here. Underneath it, there's apparently, and she pulls up the schematics and you see these 3D plans that come out. Apparently there's quite a imposing structure underground here. So as you start thinking about everything you've discovered, one of the things that's coming to mind is that Weyland-Yutani was specifically damning the atmosphere here to prevent people from wanting to come here and see what was going on while they had this laboratory downstairs.
I think Cliff walks over while this is happening, walks over to the dead, what we think is the dead alien over on the floor, and starts kind of inspecting it, taking samples.
Dead. And you know that being androids, all of you are not at risk for
Right. Infection.
Ramos, you can't help but shake the notion that your human body may still be here and alive. He was exposed to things, but he had resisted. Apparently, according to Cliff's notes, he had resisted infection once and was quarantined, so might still be alive. And Alvarez is missing also.
So if I understand this correctly, then we currently have. I'm gonna look over to you, Hector. The real you missing. Potentially the real me hidden up somewhere, potentially still alive. So if that's the case, do we look to try and recover both of them, or possibly the real Ramos, and potentially look to study him to see why he's been resistant to these things?
I think if there's a chance for us to save ourselves, and by that I mean, so weird to say this, but the originals, but we have to make sure, like, we don't take any infection off of this place. We'll have to be sure before we leave.
I mean, the only way to be sure. Never mind.
The only way we really have to be sure, and I'm going to look over to Cliff, is to make sure that every trace of this is destroyed. Right?
The living.
So,
This is dead.
if the self-destruct sequence is in its final stage, and all we need is that key card to finish the final stage, that means we have 5 minutes the moment that's flicked over. This is a one-way ticket for somebody.
That depends on what we want to do, really. Do we want to risk any of this information getting out? Potentially driving the company to come back in some way, shape, or form, to potentially profit off it in some way as well. Or would we potentially have to face one of us being that person to weird because I can't say person, but the being to go back with all this information so that Weyland can profit off of it.
Artificial person still applies.
That's too long.
AP.
Finger guns.
You still need to say sorry for shooting me.
I apologize for that.
Thank you. Not sorry for stabbing Cliff. Anyway. So,
I knew I didn't like you.
well, that's kind of irrelevant. You were being irrational and you didn't want to believe the cold, hard truth, no matter what evidence we put in front of you. So, extreme measures were needed. And now you're better.
That makes sense. And Cliff, I kind
Like
of
a
always
Band-Aid.
suspected you were kind of heartless anyway, so being an android is not actually that surprising.
Yeah. Didn't really have many feelings. Don't really have any right now. I guess
Well.
that means I stay behind?
No. We need you to get past the Weyland-Yutani security codes in order to probably get whatever boat that is under the water into the air.
You just need my PDA.
I'm
It's fully
pretty
automatic. You don't even need to do anything.
Wrench walks over, right? Pretty sure that neural processor, and he taps on Cliff's forehead, can do a bit more than an automated PDA. Me, I can tell you the ins and outs of an atmospheric processor, every component, every part of it, everything that makes it function and work. But I can't tell you much about a computer.
What if we try and expose them then? Expose the company for what they are, for what they're doing, especially if it gets out like they probably went against a lot of laws and rules and regulation.
Like, perhaps send a tiny little comm to a particular government organization.
That could work. Or what if what if we send the most unsuspecting one of us with that information? I'm gonna look over to Wrench.
It won't
With the
work.
video.
Not here.
Well, you have plenty of information to show them.
So, again, I'm not exactly the smartest individual out of the group of us when you have 4 computers staring at one another.
Yeah, but you're very good at talking.
That's
You
great.
do not shut up. So I think you can convince quite a few people.
And
You could also get away with and play off on your former person's personality and being the unsuspecting being to get information out. Because I'm sure as soon as Cliff, myself, or even Hector gets out, we get shut down.
They'll immediately boot me down.
I'm already on several of these lists. They're never going to believe me.
I've seen the lists.
I'm
There
sure
are
you
a
have.
lot.
maybe I'm not making myself clear, perhaps. Now, I may not be the brightest light bulb. However, I do work at least twice a day. And so because of that, what on earth makes you think that we would get any communique or anything along those lines off this world or off one of their ships when they control communications, the subnet, all gateways? They're going nowhere. The only best hope we can do is blow this place up.
I agree.
But we're probably gonna, cease to function. I think that's what they call it. When in the process, I'm just, if I was a betting droid, robot, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. So, do we want to all decide as a group that we are to destroy this place, everyone and everything on it, leave no trace behind?
Well, we'll have Proximus help for that.
Prima.
Close
She
enough.
was unsure of your intentions.
So
I don't. It's hard. I don't have any intentions right now. Don't know what my human version wanted.
They were trying to get a message out.
To Dr. Shen, perhaps a reliable individual,
Potentially.
possible person to send information to.
It's pretty clear that Cliff was trying to warn the company. She says in the message, or they say in the message, you need to come here and get this stuff. Like, this is a real find. So they were not interested in blowing up the place. They were trying to warn Weyland-Yutani that the androids were trying to destroy it and that they should come here and send people here to get the stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Jacqueline knows that. And Jacqueline has Cliff have stuff in their pocket that is trying to
Gotcha,
hide things.
gotcha.
But Cliff has to get that information off said planets without other three knowing. So, yes.
Way ahead of me. Way ahead of me.
all right. So
So
there's a ship.
just to recirculate some of the info here, right? You have Ramos's human self, who is somewhere in the laboratory and may still be alive. You have Alvarez's human self, who is somewhere, you don't know where. You need the second android, Calvert, who is somewhere also in the laboratories downstairs, to get the key to get the self-destruction thing going. The problem you have with the ship is that because of the atmosphere up here that is protecting this place, you can't. The reason why you can fly in here is because of that atmosphere. So in order to get the ship out of there, you're going to need to figure out something with the terraforming equipment to hopefully clear it out so that you can get the ship through here. And it's going to take a while. You're not off this rock in 5 minutes. Unless you want to try for a really, really turbulent exit, which is maybe possible. Also, and you have somewhere downstairs a machine that makes this stuff. That's sort of where you're at right now. Just wanted to bring all the information back to you.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Well, I think Phoenix has decided that he's going to leave the comm shack and he's going to try to find himself. He's going to maybe some answers lie there. And there are other places we haven't searched on this island facility terraform place.
I think for Ramos, he is going to follow suit behind Hector, but also grab Wrench. Be like, come with me. My former self, my real self, may put up a fight. I might need help.
Okay.
And then we'll begin heading over to the laboratory. But as soon as we get out, I'll be like, I will say, I still don't trust Cliff. There seems like there's more, and I think it's best we keep an eye on them just in case.
Since I'm not exactly alive, the concept of death no longer holds particular sway over me.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do very much understand that one of us is really a company bot.
Yes. That's the concerning part to me.
And if I woke up being every bit of my former self, there's no way in, well, Hades that Cliff ain't still Cliff.
Agreed.
So we got two choices. One, lets Cliff get off this rock. Two, well, as that old song goes, going down in a blaze of glory. No one's going to know what we did here. No one's going to care what we did here. But we can definitely delay it. And that's the important thing. My vote, we get the key, turn on the self-destruct, just don't tell them.
I agree with that, but I also think that it might be a good idea to put the real Ramos out of his misery.
I can take care of that.
No, I think it's only fitting I do that.
Your call, Doc. Am I the doc now? Because mechanic, no, man, whatever.
You would
I think I
actually,
would
the doctor does have a wound, and you would use Comtech to fix him.
I will 100% use Comtech to try and patch him up real quick.
Go for it. Meanwhile, inside, Delphi and Cliff, Delphi is with you. What shall we do now, Doctor?
Bleak, now that I know all of these things, is Delphi on Cliff's side? Pulls out a PDA. Delphi.
Yes, Doctor.
I'm going to make a wild guess here and assume that you and I have the same mission.
Well, my mission was to assist the crew.
Am I not still the crew?
I would say all four of you still are.
There's quite a bit of information that needs to get off this rock. And I think I need to make that happen. Will you assist me with said task?
Of course.
Bleak. I don't have to get off the rock, but I need to get a transmission off the rock.
Mhm.
So I don't need the ship under the lake. I
No.
just need a ship.
Mhm.
And our ship can still get comms out,
Mhm.
as far as I know.
Mhm.
So that is what Cliff is doing. They are going to sneak back to the transport with Delphi
Okay.
and head back to the ship.
Okay. Cool.
With-
All right.
yeah.
And meanwhile, the other three, you're heading down into the laboratory, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's start with you three. You head down into the to success to fix the doctor. All right, you're good. You're healed up, Justin. You head back into the warehouse where Prima is waiting. When you come in, you find her sitting where you left her. She stands up when she sees the lot of you. When the three of you walk in, there's this weird moment where she looks at you and then turns around and removes the lab coat that Reich's body is wearing and puts it on around herself. And then turns back to you and says, "What have you decided?"
We're gonna blow up the planet, or well, the facility at least.
Oh, well, in order to do that, we need to find Calvert,
Which is in the lab, right?
as far as I know.
Have you seen Ramos?
Last we saw, he was being quarantined in the laboratory.
I need to go and see him.
And she goes over, and on one of the walls are these like 6 big turbines that pump heat that's being suctioned off from the terraforming machine into the warehouse. And she goes over to one of them and she hits a button and the turbine stops and the panel opens up slowly and you can see a corridor behind it that leads down.
Hey, Wrench,
Yeah.
make sure we destroy this planet and make sure Cliff does not succeed with whatever they're looking to do.
Oh, for sure.
Hands you gun, walks and heads through the corridor.
I think I'm going the same way.
Oh, fantastic. And it's just gonna be like that awkward, like, oh, now we're going the same way.
So the lot of you walk on down. You are in these fairly narrow corridors that just sort of go down. At some point, you see one that goes off to another thing. There's a door. It's unmarked, but one at the end is marked laboratory. Oops. You get to the laboratory doors, and it says, of course, authorized personnel only, and then there's like a biometric pad beneath it.
Go ahead and put my hand on it.
It doesn't react.
Damn it.
Hector will try his hand.
Doesn't do anything.
I pull out my little pad and cables and try and hotwire the door.
Okay, so give me some Comtech action.
I have a lot in Comtech. Okay, is 1 success enough?
No, you want to push it? You can't push your
I
Android.
can't. None of us can push. We're robots.
You're the robots.
You could, if you wanted, spend one of your.
I will spend a story point. Yes, I have like
All right,
5 of
no
those
problem.
suckers.
You're like, it's not working, and then you slap your your little Palm Pilot thing, and the last thing kind of dings.
Did you
The
just
door
say a Palm
opens
Pilot?
into this laboratory. You can look on the Albert Rodeo. You find yourselves entering as soon as the doors open, this blast of frigid air hits you. You can see that there is a fine coating of ice over everything. The second the doors open, there's like the computers start to light up and things start to happen in the room. You hear the hum of a heating unit. You start feeling warm air being piped in to the room. But as you walk in, everything is covered in ice, like a very thin layer of ice. It looks like it was, flash frozen.
Oh, well, if we're lucky, then the cold probably hopefully took him out.
So you approach the
Muted, by
door
the
in
way.
front of you. It is closed, but it's easy enough to open. You press the open button and it opens. You see a corridor, a number of other doors around you. You start moving through the laboratory, room by room, slowly. It's clear that the entire place was frozen. You can see the system that did this, that froze the entire place up. Down here at the bottom, remember in Prometheus, those auto surgeon things? There's two of them down in here. Here there are containment units. You can find in the laboratory also evidence of experiments that haven't been done on the black liquid. There's the body of one of these things that attacked you earlier, that kind of snake thing that has been dissected and opened up. As you approach that end there's another door there, but the thing that catches your attention is on the ground here. Sorry, did I sound on the ground? But in the pod here, you see Ramos. He is lying in a quarantine pod, flash frozen, also like everything else in the place.
Just gonna go ahead and start doing everything I need to reactivate him, bring him back to
First
life.
thing you get is there's a pulse. He's still alive. It takes a few moments. The unit kicks on. The room around you is thawing out. He also starts to thaw, and he starts to cough. And he starts to, like, you see that he's kind of panicking a little bit, like trying to get out of this this containment unit that he's in.
Is he gonna freak out when he sees you? Should you not be the first thing he sees?
No, I think it's only right.
Okay.
First thing and last thing.
The door opens and he's like, and he looks at you two. He's like, Alvarez, what's he doing here? And he points over at Wrench. What's he doing? And then he sees you, Ramos.
As soon as he sees me, I'm calmly walking over to him before putting my hand around his neck and will say, how are you still alive?
What the fuck? I don't know. And he reaches out and he touches you.
Yeah. Yep.
What the fuck is this?
A whole lot of fucked up shit. However, I'm sorry to have to say this, but you being alive is a detriment to all of your kind. It's
What?
really strange to say.
Why?
Because you're immune, apparently, to whatever the hell is from this planet.
Yeah, so that's good.
I'm sorry, it's not.
What? Why not?
Wrench is just standing behind him, shaking his head.
What are you gonna do? What's going on?
Put my hand around his neck, around his throat, and proceed to try and crush his windpipes.
That's a horrible way to go. That's like 5 minutes it's gonna take.
Android strength.
Android thing. You grab him by the throat. Starts struggling. He struggles. He's holding in the face, and you're like, he looks. He's exactly you. He's you. Like as you're squeezing this life, you know. And just as you're about, his eyes go, and he starts to shake, and you hear a cracking noise, and you see from his chest as his chest rips open, this strange, almost crab-like thing with a long tail bursts right out of his chest. His face goes completely wild as this thing rips right through him, splashes the three of you with blood. As it rolls out of him, it rolls over and hits the ground and immediately starts to try and skedaddle.
Shotgun.
Get it.
Nah, rifle that shit. Nope.
Initiative.
Shotgun.
Pull those cards.
As it pulls out, you can see it's got 4 legs. And I don't know if you remember the neomorph from Prometheus, but it's kind of like got a white translucent skin with that long cone-like head and that eyeless kind of featureless face, and it's got these 4 little arms and legs, right? As it pops out and sort of rolls out of the semiotic bag. Wrench goes at 3, 7 for Alvarez, 8 for Ramos. How many does this thing get? Oh, it's got 3. This thing is fast.
That's fuck boy.
This thing rolls out. The 3 of you kind of back up, pull out the shotguns. In a blink of an eye, it goes at one into, in the blink of an eye, this thing darts between your legs. You turn around just in time to see it go in one of the vents. It crawls in. You see this trail of slime and blood leading up behind it, and it slips into one of the vents and disappears. And you hear it. It was growing before your eyes. As it was running, you could see it grow.
What the fuck? That's not good.
Nope. Time to hurry this up and destroy this planet.
Well, time to find the key card.
So you have 2 options. There is a door right there next to you, and there was that other door down that other corridor that you passed by.
Let's check this door here.
Door number 1.
Jacqueline, are you there? I'm going to go to you in a second. Are you ready to go? You open the door, and meanwhile, outside, you are getting ready to leave with Delphi. You have climbed up along where the waterfall is, and you've reached the top where the ox is. Delphi says, do you want to take the vehicle?
They don't need it.
Beryl. She goes, do you want to drive or should I drive?
Oh, that's a good question. I have some encryptions to make. Maybe you drive.
You get into the vehicle. She gets in with you. She pulls it back, drives into the tunnel. As you're driving back into that tunnel, you get to the point where you remove the truck from the track, and you find that it's been put back, and it's blocking the tunnel the same way it was before. Delphi stops the truck. Didn't we move this?
We did. We didn't put it back. And I kind of look around to see if I see any movement in the area.
Stay here, Doctor. Delphi gets up. Close the door. Get a flashlight out. She walks over to the truck. Inspects it. It's not exactly in the same position that you had found it in. She goes around the truck. The window next to you explodes as a pair of hands reaches into the truck where you are, grabs you by the throat, and pulls you out. You can attempt to dodge out of the way if you want, using your mobility and your agility.
Yes, please. No successes.
You get grabbed. You take 2 damage as a hand grabs around your throat. One grabs down your shirt and pulls you out of the truck and slams you on the ground. You see the other android, Calvert, puts his knee down on top of you to hold you down, and he's reaching around him, and he's got what looks like some sort of low ball peen hammer kind of thing, and he looks like he's about to bring it down. Delphi comes at him and hits him and grabs the hammer. Now they're struggling. He's still got his knee on top of you, but the two of them are kind of struggling together, and she's trying to roll him off of you. What would you like to do?
Do I have the same health as I did as a character? So
you can add 2 points to your physical stats.
Okay.
You can either put both in the same or 1 in each.
Okay.
It's the same for you, Alvarez, earlier.
Okay. I still have the gun on me.
Mm-hmm.
I never relinquished it. I'm gonna pull it and right in his chest.
Go for it. So you gotta make a ranged attack roll.
One success.
1 success. The bullet punches into him. Doesn't seem to do too much damage. He reels back a little bit. He's still kind of struggling with Delphi. He's going to try to push her off of him. Actually, I'm not going to bother rolling for that. So they're kind of struggling. She manages to kind of push him off a little bit, and his knee lifts off of you. After you shoot him, he's kind of off balance a little bit, and they kind of go ass over tea kettle, and she's on top of him, and they're kind of wrestling, and you find yourself lying on the floor there, kind of free. What would you like to do?
I get up and run towards the ship.
All right, you get up, book it down towards the ship, no problem. You run all the way to the end of the corridor. And as you're running, something occurs to you. You don't have one of the protective suits. You reach the end of the corridor, and there's a door there, and you can already feel the cold coming from the other side, even with the door closed. You realize all the suits are back at the Aux when you took them off.
How close is the ship to the door? How far did we have to walk?
You didn't walk, you took the Aux. It's like a bit of a drive. Like, you could attempt to try and endure your way to there, but it's not going to be a given.
Yeah. I think instantly it's not worth it. Can I communicate with the ship from where I am? at the very least.
So if you want to communicate with the ship,
Like, I need to be
go
on.
outside.
Right.
You're gonna have
okay.
to go outside. You don't have to go very far, but the problem is that this place is shielded,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the whole point of the thing. That's
Mhm.
why you couldn't land here. It's so you can get a message to the chat. So you're gonna have to go outside. You don't have to go far, but you do have to open the doors and go outside, and we'll see what happens. But it is totally feasible.
Okay. I think in a split second, Cliff makes a decision that a message is not enough. They need to get a vial off planet, and turns and runs back towards the transport to try to get a suit.
As you turn to go, you see Calvert standing there.
Of course.
Why are you doing this?
It's my job. Why are you doing this?
You haven't seen what these things do. I have.
I saw what it did in this form, not what it could do in other forms.
This is not the kind of thing that should be released out there, especially not to people like our employer.
I'm not releasing it. I'm using it. Think of the
Using it to what?
technologies. Think of the lives we could save if we could harness.
That's exactly the same as what Oppenheimer probably was telling himself when he created that bomb. Think of all the lives we could save with this technology. I wonder if we stacked up the lives that have been saved against the ones that have been killed. How would that equation work out, Doctor?
I think that everything is about perspective. Nobody's really good or evil. I think we all
No.
make choices.
What makes you good or evil are the choices that you make.
Do you think you're making the right choice?
By preventing this from getting out there? Well,
Preventing knowledge, advancements, the next generation.
Doctor, there is no advancements. There is no knowledge. There is only death. What you hold in your hand is essentially what the Black Plague was to a peasant in the 13th century. It doesn't help, it doesn't cure, it doesn't improve, it doesn't build. It simply destroys. That is nature's answer to everything. It is death. That is all it is.
You are making a lot of assumptions on one data point. We
I'm
don't
making
know what
assumptions
it could
based on
do.
what I've seen.
You're one person.
Yeah, and you haven't seen anything. You're making assumptions based on what you think is right, but you haven't seen anything. You haven't seen what this does.
I saw what it did just now, but not
And that didn't change your mind?
didn't change it. Make better choices. Change lives.
You can save potentially millions of lives right now
Right.
by
By getting
destroying what's
this?
in your pocket, by not
No, no,
releasing whatever it is you want to bring out there, by returning with me.
I'm not going anywhere with you. And I'm going to try to shoot him.
Okay. And as you level your gun, back in the you open the door, and what you see beyond is what appears to be some kind of temple-like structure. There are plants, trees all over this place. It has fall into disrepair. It looks incredibly ancient, and in front of you is this strange sort of pedestal with this glowing form on it, this sort of polyhedral, almost kind of like what a D12 looks like, with strange symbols that you recognize from the message that Cliff had earlier. And this, not sphere, but this polyhedral is just sort of turning slowly on itself on this thing. And you can see at the base, there's this sort of kind of like a conveyor system with all these strange little canister that look almost like funeral urns. They're stopped right now, but they look like they move and go under this machine. And then you see pallets of these canisters stacked to the side.
The dodecahedron is not like, it's just giving off like a faint glow.
It's moving. It's sort of held aloft in midair.
Okay.
And it's kind of turning on itself, and it's
Well, I
but
don't like that.
it doesn't seem to be fully operational.
I start looking for the dude we're supposed to find who's got the key card.
You look through this entire area. You don't find a sign of anybody, either another body or anybody else here. There's just a lot of you. The technology is absolutely alien. You've never seen anything like it. There's nothing about this technology that rings a bell to you in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that's somewhat familiar is the writing on the shape, and the canisters, which you've seen, I think, in one of the warehouses upstairs. The rest, even the architecture of the place, the materials used, all of this looks incredibly ancient and alien.
Can we tell what the source of power in this room is? Is there any kind of like...
Not that you can tell.
Does it look like anyone's been in this room?
Certainly. The machine itself looks clean and in working order. The pallets look new. The pallets are like standard Weyland-Yutani industrial pallets, loaded with these strange stone-like urns. What do you do? Let's go around and tell me what you want to check out or what you want to do. So we'll start with you, Kurt.
Okay, so weird room. Wrench is gonna look and see if there's a way to like shut the power off to weird glowing spinning dodecahedron.
So go ahead and make a comtech roll. What's Alvarez doing?
It's at this moment that there is a short second that he actually wishes that Cliff were here, to assist, of course, in the translation of the symbols. But since they are not, he will turn to Wrench and could I see that PDA real quick?
Oh yeah, there you go. And he like pulls it out, like absent-mindedly pulls it out of his pocket and just hands it to Alvarez.
Okay. And can this PDA communicate to the other PDA?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Type it away.
And what's Ramos doing?
Ramos would be, you said that there were canisters, correct?
Yeah.
I'd probably go over to the canisters, and I'd probably go over to one of the canisters, try and take a look at it, and maybe even pop one open just to kind of see what may potentially in there, if there's nothing that indicates what it is on the outside of it.
When you pull it up and you open it, there's a sound. And when you unscrew it, inside are a bunch of little ampules with black liquid in them.
Okay. Then I'll close it right back up. And then what I want to do then is essentially looking at the map. I'm going to pretty much, if there's any, I want to make sure like all of them are consolidated next to this terminal.
No problem. Next to the sphere there in the center?
Yeah.
All right. What was your contact roll, Kurt?
I got 2 successes.
You should make me a contact roll also, Adrian. As you approach, Justin, the thing that's floating there, you can see there's like a screen in front, and you can kind of see in it at the base of it. And what you see inside of there is this strange black liquid that appears to be created. It looks like little tendrils, and they sort of look like they're being kept alive or sort of generated through this. And you can see as these things sort of pulse, when you approach, they sort of lean in your direction a little bit, and you can see that there's a whole mechanism through which these things, the little ampules get loaded up with these things and then dropped into these transport devices, the urns.
Canisters. I will do that quick little like noticing that. I'll take one of the canisters, put it closer, and then just kind of like move it up to see if it reacts to like the direction that I'm moving it.
No, it seems to kind of be reacting to you.
I'll continue doing what I was doing, but I'll make note of that. And
what were you doing? Oh, sorry. Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then back over to Wrench. Hey, how's that coming along?
And as you say that, you hear and the lights in this place all close. What did you call it? The dodecahedron?
It's called a dodecahedron.
Dodecahedron stops.
I'm a geometry kid.
Stops moving and slowly lowers down and fits right down into that receptacle at the bottom, and it kind of locks in place. And all the lights in here kind of close down so that there's just a little bit of light from like sort of security lights that are left on the sides. Adrian, what were you doing?
Oh, I was playing with the PDA. And
yeah. Do you want to tell me what you're doing?
Oh, of course. You're the storyteller. I was just sending a message in regarding what we found and where we are, and wondering where someone else is.
Okay.
And maybe putting in some descriptions of symbols.
And the power cuts. You managed to cut down the power wrench. What do the three you want to do now?
Go back to the other door.
Yeah.
So we can destroy this thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I mean when we blow up the facility.
Fair. Okay. Hoping we can destroy this thing a little bit sooner.
But we need to find Calvert.
Sorry?
The other android, the Calvert.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have the key to the self-destruct? Mm-hmm. Right?
Right. But whatever this thing is probably best. I didn't like what came out of it, and so I felt this may require destruction sooner rather than later.
I'm gonna go on a limb and go that just trying to crack it open may not be the best idea, at least with it off, the black goo's kind of contained, until we can atomize it with, a thermonuclear detonation.
That's fair. That's probably the more logical thing to do. Okay.
Wrench and logic. This character was not designed that way.
It's like, I like the new wrench.
I also would find it funny if like all three of our synths all just kind of like just have that little luck chuckle.
So you get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try the other door.
All right. As you go to the other door, you hear coming from somewhere off to your left a strange sound of something moving rapidly. And as you reach for the door, you see out of the corner of your eye this white form that's grown to slightly about the size of a man.
Gosh.
With an elongated round head and a closed off face come rushing at you right from the trees next to where you are at an incredible speed. And just as it reaches you, back in the tunnel,
Try to shoot him.
you try to shoot him. Go for it. Make your ranged
Okay.
roll. He's going to try to dodge.
Oh, yeah. I sure hope so. Can't make it easy on me, right? I have 1 success.
All right. He's got 2 successes. So your shot rings out, and he kind of saw that you were doing that, and he kind of dodges. You see he's wounded. Like his fight, he got wounded in a fight with Delphi, but so he kind of dodges, and he's going to rush, and he's going to try to just sort of tackle you down. So you can try to dodge that with your mobility.
Okay. No successes.
All right. He tackles you down, and as he drags you down, he like rams his hand down into your windpipe. You're going to take another 2 damage from this as he's sort of holding you down and pressing down onto your windpipe. And he's still got that hammer, and you see him kind of like flip it around, and he presses it down into your ribs, right under where your ribs are, like the handle of it. And he's putting all his strength into it, trying to ram that entire thing up into your chest cavity, into your rib, sort of pushing it. You feel your ribs snap as this hammer is pushing in. You feel the rupture of the skin, and you feel this entire thing kind of going into you and sort of pressing down into you. And he's really strong, and he's holding you down, and he's pushing that thing right down into your ribs. And all of a sudden you hear a loud conk, and then blood sprays into your face, but it's white, milky blood that covers your face. And he drops down on top of you. His head, there's a huge hole in his head, and it's just dripping milk fluid on top of you.
So I am out of health points. That was my last 2.
All right, so you're lying there, unable to move, as your systems are starting to fail. His body gets pulled off, and you see Alvarez there, looking the fucking worse for wear, looking like he's been through fucking World War III. Like he usually has got those long flowing locks, and that, you know, he's like dirty and emaciated, and he looks down at you, and he sees the milk that's running out of your thing. He's like, what the fuck? He pulls the hammer out of your chest, drops it off to the side. Do you have any comm tech, Adrian?
2.
Yeah, so give me a comm tech roll. Comm tech plus your attribute.
Two successes.
He rips the hammer out of your chest, pulls it out, and then reaches inside and fiddles around, and you feel like a little bit of a jolt. And as he like ties off a few things, and then he looks over at Calvert, and he reaches into Calvert, and he pulls out a piece, and he goes back inside, and then all of a sudden you kind of feel like a little jolt, and your systems are coming back online. You have 1 health back.
You're alive.
Yeah.
How are you alive?
I'm fucking wily. I always get out alive. Didn't they tell you that? Don't call me the Phoenix for nothing.
That's true. Help me up.
It lifts you up. That thing's been trying to kill me for weeks.
Yeah.
You all right? Were you always... Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. You've been entered from the beginning, right?
No. This is just a new form.
Okay. Anyways, I thought you were dead. I thought it killed you. Where have you been?
It did kill me, but somehow I'm here.
Okay, you're not making any fucking sense, Cliff.
I don't have much time to explain. I need a suit. I need to get to the ship.
You're not still trying to... What are you trying to do?
I gotta get to the ship. There's something about a code. I don't know.
He looks at you, takes a step back. Are you still trying to get word of this back home?
Why would I do that?
Because that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, but I'm not me. I'm
What the fuck are you
dead.
talking about? Okay, you're a fucking android. You didn't know you were an android?
Well, now I do. Just,
Explains a lot.
I gotta get to the ship. And I start fiddling on the android's body looking for the key.
You're rooting around. Alvaro says, you're still fucking trying to do it, aren't you? You're still trying to get the company to come and get this shit off of here, right? That's what you're doing, right? And he's kind of backing up.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't really know what's going on here. All I know is there's a key and I need to get some code so we can set the planet up, and I need it off the ship, but
That's him. They had each a code to input.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Shit. Okay.
I mean, maybe we can haul his body back and you can root in his brain and get something out of it.
If we get him to the ship, I can get it off of the med vac. I gotta get to the ship.
You're not making a lot of fucking sense here, Cliff. What are you trying to do? Like, first you want to get this stuff out of here. You want to call the company to come in and get this fucking goop shit out of here. And now you want to self...
I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna shoot him.
And as you do, he shoots you.
Yeah.
Back in the temple, mein Franz, you were about to leave when this thing came rushing out at you from one of the vents.
Is it rushing at us or rushing past us?
It's rushing at you. It has now grown to adult form. It is over 2.1 meters long because they grow insanely fast. And we'll do an initiative.
Yeah, boy.
How many initiatives did this thing get? 92. All right. Wrench will go at 3. That's an 8. For Alvarez, a 6. For Ramos. Two and a 9 for the alien. So it rushes over at you, hissing all the way. I don't know who's there first. Oh, Phoenix. It comes at you like... Now, I'm going to make you roll their special attacks just because I think it's really, really nasty of me to make you roll your own things. It's going to...
It's all jacked up on Mountain Dew. It's coming at you like a goddamn spider monkey.
So give me a D6 roll, would you? Adrian, please.
6.
6. The neomorph comes running at you, and as it kind of comes towards you, you try to sidestep it, and it rolls over. Its tail whips out around the side and aims right at you. The neomorph impales the victim with its razor-sharp tail. I will roll for the attack using a base number of dice here.
You do the milk spray. Your mouth just erupts with white liquid.
Like potato salad.
It's so chunky.
You can attempt, if you want, you can attempt to block it. But that will, basically, you will lose your action.
Yes, I will attempt to block or, like, grab hold of the...
So make a hand-to-hand roll. I don't know if you still have story points left. You can consider using those if you want.
I think I only had one, which has been used. So, here goes the roll. Oh, snap. 3 successes.
3 successes. Awesome. It also has 3 successes. And so its attack lands. It will do 1 damage to you, but automatically triggers critical injury. Automatically triggers critical injury a number 66. Where's the critical injury table?
This is my favorite part.
I should have to find a critical injury table.
That's to carry my leg home. Use me as a backpack.
The searchable PDF is not super searchable.
I can grab my DM screen and just read it off of that.
Yeah, could you? Would you mind?
Yep. A second. Oh.
Quiet. Just as you go pull it out, I find it. Critical injury number 66. As this creature's tail whips out, it penetrates your chest, impales your heart. It holds you aloft, impaled on its tail. As you hang there, your white milk just dribbling down your chest and dribbling down along its tail. 3. Wrench.
Shotgun.
Go for it.
Right. Ooh. 2 successes.
2 successes. What's your damage?
It's a shotgun.
Oh, not the manual, real quick.
I am. I really am. It's not on my screen. I want to say it's a damage of 3.
And how many successes did you get?
2.
All right. So you fire off the shotgun. Your bullets hit it. Its armor takes all of it. As the bullets hit this thing and like just don't do anything, they bounce off. All the little pellets from the shotgun just completely bounce off of it and spray out everywhere else. Do you want to move?
I am gonna move. I'm going to move to that side of Hector. See if I can get a better angle, maybe.
Okay. You need to do more than 6 damage to be able to get through the armor.
That's I'm double checking real quick. What is the shotgun's actual damage?
Check it out. At 6 would be Ramos.
Having seen all this, and seeing what Wrench is trying to do, I'm probably going to try and cause some sort of diversion, as I will I will move over this way and try and keep its attention by doing unarmed combat.
Okay, go for it.
Alrighty, because I don't have any of my guns. Haha, but I got 2 successes.
2 successes, you come up to it, you attack it with your hand. It does absolutely nothing. Like your hand just hits this thing and it doesn't get through the armor at all, but you're kind of in its face trying to lure it away. At 9, it will turn on you and do an attack on you. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, Ramos, please.
I got a 3.
3, the neomorph, as you are kind of punching it, its tail drops and Alvarez goes flying off of it, and it jumps at you, grabbing at you to drag you away. I will roll my attack. Which succeed. So you take 1 damage as it jumps on you, drags you into the ground, and hauls you away. Wrench, you see the creature grabbing Ramos, hauling him away. You dragging him away just over. Let me get to the map. It grabs him. Which one of you is Ramos? Right there. It grabs him and hauls him away back towards the direction of the laboratory.
As I'm being drug away, I will shout, "Wrench, blow this motherfucker up," as I'm just calmly just being drug away.
Part of me feels like I should shoot Benny, because I don't know what's going to happen to him, but at the same time, he's not alive, so what's the worst they could do to him, I guess?
What do you want to do? It's your action.
Okay, so is Hector functional?
No, he's dead. His chest is completely ripped out. He's missing like a whole bunch of components. He's just on the ground shaking.
I get the PDA off of his body and pocket it, and then I go out.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
As you search through his pockets for the PDA, you find his lucky charm, which is the hula girl that he would have on his console. And for the first time actually looking at it, this hula girl looks like Cliff.
Son of a bitch. And he literally drops it in the gaping hole that is Hector's chest and just keeps walking out.
You walk out, you get into the laboratory, you can see the trail of milky blood where Ramos has been pulled into the vent where the thing escaped from earlier. What would you like to do, Wrench?
Gonna go through the other door on the opposite side. Hopefully
You're gonna get out of there?
Yeah,
all right,
100%.
No problem. You skedaddle on out of there. In the vent, Ramos, you get pulled into the vent, and this thing is just sort of clawing up at you. It will go at 2, so we'll do another action on you before you get to do your move. Give me another D6 roll.
That's a 4.
4. As it drags you into the vent and you're sort of trying to fight it off, it starts wrapping itself around you, its arm and its legs and its tail kind of wrapping around you no, sorry, that's the wrong end. That's the hammerhead. Oops. That's the hammerpede. So where's the book? Where'd the book go? Where'd the book at? Where'd the book go? That was 4, you said?
Yes.
All right. So it drags you into the vent, and as it does, it jumps up and lands back on top of you, does 1 damage. Now it gets to do a follow-up attack. You don't panic. You can if you want. Sorry? You don't panic because you're
I'm a synth.
You're a synth.
He is android boy.
And yeah, so because it got the first one in, you don't panic. It does 1 damage. Don't panic. But then as it kind of jumps down on you and it leans down and bites into you, it's going to do 3 extra damage.
Okay.
Are you still alive?
Yes, I am. Surprisingly.
So its mouth kind of opens up in this weird sort of sphincter-like orifice and like just sort of lashes into your throat and it starts savaging your throat. You get to go at 6.
I am just going to. What I'd like to do is like reach my arms in and try and like stay as clinched onto this thing as possible. Essentially, establish that vice grip. So, he's gonna have to tear through me for it to let go.
Okay.
If I could buy some time, if I can buy time, I will. And that's the only way I can do right now. I don't have anything else.
And as you're kind of holding on to it and it's just devouring you and ripping into you and all that, eventually it rips out the front pocket of your shirt and it pulls out this document that you have there, and the sheets of papers just go flying everywhere, spreading all around you as it rips into you, and you can't tell the difference between them and the blood because your blood is white and it's just staining these papers. And as you're lying there on the ground and it's just ripping into you and ripping and pulling out your parts, all these papers from your release form are just floating down and cover you down. Outside in the tunnel.
Making some
Shoot.
rolls.
Shoot.
Run, you fool. Run.
Can I use a story point here?
You can.
I have one I can use.
Go for it.
Yeah, I didn't make any successes, so I'll use
All right.
one of my.
So with your
points.
success, I have no successes. So with your story point, you turn around at the same time. You and Alvarez shoot each other. The bullet just whizzes by you. You feel it right by your head as it shatters on the wall behind you, and you see Alvarez looking at you. Look down. You can see blood pooling through his shirt. What would Alvarez's last words to Cliff be, Adrian?
I would have stayed frozen in time with you.
And then he slumps down to his knees. and falls face forward.
I think Android Cliff has no emotion to that, but there is like a tickle. And they get up and they walk calmly to the transport to get a suit to walk out to the ship.
Wrench, you make your way out. You hear behind you the dying sounds of Ramos and the creature as it tears through him, and eventually you hear nothing. You come back out into the warehouse area where Prima is still waiting. Only you?
Yep.
What now?
Well, where's the dude with the key card? There was nobody down there.
I don't know if you didn't find him.
I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna set these reactors to overload.
I'll help you.
And I immediately just go out. There should have been like a little, if I remember the map correctly, there should have been like a little truck of some kind.
Yeah.
I just grab literally a handful of like torches, right? And a few other components and be like, get in, we're going.
Thank you, Tales from Initiative, for the raid. You're coming in on tail end here as half the crew has been killed by the alien. One of them is about to try and destroy the planet while the other one is trying to get a message out to Weyland-Yutani. You head out with Prima, get in the truck, and head to one of the terraforming machines. Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff, you manage to pull a suit on, and you trek your way through this god-forsaken tundra. It's far, it's arduous. It was so much easier with the truck. You found Delphi's body by the truck when you went back. It was kind of impossible for you to manage to put the other truck out of things, so you had to walk. You eventually reach the Archangel. As you approach it, it's pretty clear you can't fly it out. Like, it's way too damaged. There's no way it's going to sort of lift off, but you climb aboard it. You find your way into the cockpit. What do you want to do?
So I think while they were walking, they were using their PDA to write a subroutine to crypt a message that basically has everything off of everything that they've collected onto their PDA up to now. So they've been taking stuff off of all the computers that they possibly can. And when they get into the ship, they are going to find a capsule. They're going to put a bunch of the vials that they have collected and their PDA into the capsule. And then they are going to write a launch sequence for the capsule into space with a tracking beacon. And they're going to try to get that off of the planet before it detonates.
And as that's happening, trying to get all that to work, Kurt, you and Prima make your way to the terraforming machine. You start to work. Go ahead and give me a Comtech roll. If you have any story points left, you can use them.
Oh, I'm using them. I'm
going
to
into
use story points and dice rolls and everything.
Okay, so hold on. I am going to write the number of successes you need here. I will say that with Prima helping you, you can add 2 dice to your roll.
Okay.
So tell me how many story points you have left.
I have technically. Do we count the story points from last session too, or no?
Yeah, whatever you have left, you can count.
So I have 4 story points left.
Four story points left. Anybody else have story points?
I have 1.
Okay, I'm assuming you're not going to give it to him?
No. Can I take some of his?
No, you can have your
okay.
own. It's your story point. Adrian and Ramos, did you have any story points left?
No.
None left over.
None left over?
We would
All
still
right.
be alive if we had.
He's got
At
a
least
point.
for another round.
So, Kurt, give me a contact roll. But you can, I will say with your story point, Jacqueline, you can cancel one of Kurt's.
Okay.
4 successes. Quadruple sixes.
Okay. So you bang away, you work on this thing, you think you got it figured out. It's gonna take a while. Like, it's gonna work, but it's gonna take a while. Then eventually this is gonna explode. It's gonna make the other ones explode, and it's probably gonna have a big enough chain reaction that it's going to severely damage the planet. You're pretty sure that it's going to take out everything that's here, possibly all the way out to the ship. Like, it's gonna be a major fucking explosion. And just as you finish it off, and kind of what would you say? What would Wrench say as he like pushes that last button and it looks like it's going to work?
Well, here's hoping.
And as you say that, a bunch of little black beads of liquid drop onto your forehead, roll down over your nose. You look up. And my friends, that is where we will end this session of Alien.
Can I add one thing just because in case I died?
In fact, what we'll do is we'll go around and we'll get your last words if there's anything you would want to say. Go for it.
Okay. So I think the last thing that Cliff is doing, just under the impression that the planet's probably going to explode, is they pull out of their pocket a written letter from Hector that says, "Have a great day at work, honey. Love you, Hector," and is just kind of staring at it in their last moments.
And you're waiting for, you're looking to count down for the connection to be made. It was 5, 4, 3, 2. Then we go to black.